Hello guys, I tried to like style my hair in some way to come on camera to talk to you guys tonight. It's been a couple days live from my dorm or whatever. Hey, so yes, I made that very short video that was like why you should backpack through Europe. It's better, it's great. And I was saying all this shit, and I think that some people are still like, but it doesn't, I'm not sure, or whatever, or like how, or I don't know, whatever questions you have. I'm not sure what your questions are, but oh my gosh, I've learned a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I just kind of wanted to share in a more extended video and talk a little bit about a lot of things, just a lot of things. I think that Europe has a better education system, and I feel like everyone who is familiar with it knows that because it's free. I'm gonna explain to you guys how. So I actually made a friend here who's in like medical school. That kind of looks better, huh? Than whatever this is, whatever. She's in like medical school here, and she explained to me a little bit about how like it all works. So I'm gonna explain it to you guys. Basically, throughout elementary school, some people are in schools where they actually have things known as like tracking. So they have tracking here too. But tracking is what actually gets you into like your collegiate program. So you're like tracked into like you have to track into being able to go to college, let's say. So okay, so like in your elementary school, sorry, I'm gonna like back up a little bit so you guys can still see me. I'm still here. Okay, so in your like elementary school, let's say that you're doing well, then you're gonna go to a middle school where you're also remotely challenged, like the classes are a bit harder, and then and then you go to high school. Everybody goes to high school. And then in high school, if you're kind of like not doing very well academically, you're kind of not that smart, you stop high school at your, wait, I'm sorry, actually you stop at middle school, you stop at 7th grade. So in middle school, if you weren't doing that well, you stop school at 7th grade and you go into the workforce, or you do some sort of trade, like a trade school. So you'd be like a cashier, you could be like a waitress, anything like that, a teller, a salesperson, stuff like that. You start in the economy right away. So if you're doing a little bit better, you would go until 10th grade. And then you could do either like a external prep school that would prepare you for college, or you would do some other trade, maybe like nursing, or like, I don't know, a veteran tech, a radiology tech, ultrasound tech, something like that. Then if you were actually doing really well academically, you go on to university. And then that's when you would, in 10th grade, you would immediately start like your university program. Or no, I'm sorry, after 12th grade, you start your university program. But if you know you want to be a doctor, you start like medical school right away. So it's not like undergrad and then medical school, it's like medical school. You just start that right away. And so the whole thing is only 6 years, and then you go into your residency. And then if you go to a public school, all of it is free. So I will actually put the Wikipedia link that explains this in the description box because I think it's wild. If I would have had that program, I would be in a much different place. I think there's like, I feel really bad for like, whatever. Maybe I don't. There's probably a lot of high achieving Black students that are currently in America, and they are going to thrive. I still think though that the education system is wild there, and if I could advise anyone to do it over again, I would tell you kind of a couple of things. If you are academically gifted, like academically you are doing well, I would tell you that you need to think about how much money your family has, how competitive your application will be, and that could determine a couple of things. Like, I feel like if I were a high schooler right now and I was making decisions, if I came from a middle class family, I would for sure go somewhere in Europe to go to university because I wouldn't qualify for that much financial aid unless you go to an Ivy. Like the Ivies have always been need blind, so they're doing all these things now where they're like publicizing what need blind is, but need blind schools have the Ivy Leagues have always been like that. So if your grades are really high and you're a really smart student, the private Ivy League schools all over America have endowment funds that are large enough that they will pay for your entire collegiate experience. So it's much cheaper to go to a better school than it is to go to like a middle tier public school in America. It's not like that anywhere else in the rest of the world. Public schools are like much easier to access. And in Europe, they're pretty good. I wouldn't go to like a public university or something in most parts of Africa unless you're doing like graduate studies and your research professor is like really well known in your field and where you're trying to study is like specifically located there because of something. You know what I mean? Like otherwise it doesn't make sense to go. The developing world is developing for quite a lot of reasons, but also I think it's a great way to take advantage of passport privilege. I'm going to show you guys something. So currently, I am working on like getting my like driver's license in, you know, Europe. And they have, well, we're not going to talk about that because that will probably, and then my passport, right? So one thing that I've done, which I think is actually really smart, I keep my passport in this passport book and I put an air tag on it. And the reason that I do that is because I need to be able to find my passport at all times. So that's a really big thing for me. I lose my shit and like, that's real bad. Anyway, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's for now. Well, I also want to talk about a couple of trips I have coming up. So far I've been to Berlin, to Munich, these are in Germany. Berlin and Munich are cities in Germany. I've also been to Innsbruck in Austria. All of those things are really cool. Next week I'll be in London, so if you're interested in that, I will definitely be making some content about that. There's a lot of I want to talk to you guys about my travels, but I don't know if I want to do it here. But there's a couple other things I wanted to say. So I'm not going to be participating in Vlogmas because I'm just not really into it, right? But Kenya's doing Vlogmas. Highly recommend you go and watch her. There's other girls who are doing Vlogmas. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe go check out Kelly Stamp's current material, or I don't know who else is doing it. I don't know, but like go see them or check them out. Like I said before, I think it's really important to keep up with other Black female content creators. I just do. I think that the way that they're talking about the world is going to help you make more sense of it. It'll continue to keep you in a place where your mental health is under control and the way that you see society makes sense. If you kind of veer from it and trot your own path, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but I'm just saying it'll probably be a lot easier if you have one or two people that you follow. I feel like that's a big mistake that I made early on, which it was helpful in some ways and then not so much in others. There's a lot of other things though. Maybe if you're into the Exoticals type of content, watch that. Whatever is helping you like relate your lived experience to some other woman, I think that's important, like super important. Also, I think that something, like I feel like I've been saying this for a while, but I think there's actually been like an exodus of Black women from the States right now, and it's inspiring more women just to have the opportunity to do so if they so choose. And like I said, I've said this in like a post, but I don't know if I've said it on camera. I just really feel like it's like not a safe space to be there to be in America, and especially being like a middle class or lower class Black woman, because you're going to have to live in neighborhoods with these men and they don't like you. Like, they don't. And it's not just that they don't like you, I feel like the violence that is going to be like pushed on you is harmful, like life ending. And I think so many parts are just really funny. Like a lot of the content that is coming out is like really depicting the lifestyle of like living in the projects and, you know, this community, like, how do you say it? Subsidized housing, and like it's the projects, you know, it's just like a lot of bad things come from that. And sometimes you want to believe that it's something else. No, no, no. Like a lot of stuff doesn't come from that. And it's like, actually, it does. It causes a lot of harm to a lot of people because, like, you just, when you have to live in like that close proximity to people who you don't really know, you don't really like, but you're forced to do it because of like money. And then there's like drugs and like, it's just bad. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a really happy holiday. I don't really have any new updates. I feel like everything I wanted to say I said already. So good luck with everything. I'll probably see you guys again before Christmas, but I think I'm gonna try to put out some of these travel vlogs. I don't think I'm gonna do it here. I really want this to be more like a commentary space, and I'll do something else. I'll have a different travel vlog space, and if you're interested in that, I'll link it. So if you want to watch me do that, you can.